Have you ever said like you're just talking to a brick wall when you're dealing with local government? Yeah, it's a super common feeling. But what if I told you there's a simple structural reason for all that frustration? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden architecture of civic power and hopefully give you a totally new framework for navigating it. You've been there, right? You're at some town hall meeting, you're trying to make a really important point, and it just feels like you're from different planets. You're bringing the passion, they're bringing the procedure, and nothing seems to connect. It's maddening for sure, but it's a pretty universal part of civic life.
But what if the real problem isn't that anyone has bad intentions? What if it's just a massive misunderstanding of the rules of the game? The thinking here is that the issue is actually structural. It's a fundamental confusion about the different roles we're all playing in this whole civic dance.
So, to get our heads around this, we're going to start with a concept you already use every single day of your life, even if you don't really think about it. It's an idea called status. Status is just a fancy word for the role you're in at any given moment. It's the specific hat you're wearing, so to speak. It sounds simple, I know, but trust me, the implications for how we deal with authority are absolutely huge. Think about it like this. When you're behind the wheel of a car, you're in driver status. You have a whole set of rules to follow. Stop at red lights, stay under the speed limit, you know the drill. But the second you hop into the passenger seat, your role changes, and so do the rules. You're the same person, but your status is completely different. And hey, this isn't just about driving. It applies to our work lives too. As an employee, you're operating under company policy. You're acting on behalf of the firm. But once you punch out for the day, you're a private citizen again, with a totally different set of rights and freedoms. Same person, different status, different rules. And this, right here, leads us to a really, really critical distinction. Your fundamental rights, they belong to you as a person, period. They're always there. But the specific rules you have to follow, those are often tied to the role, the status that you're operating in at any given time. Okay. So if rules are attached to roles, that kind of makes you wonder, right? When we're talking about government, where does the authority to even create these roles come from in the first place? And this is such a crucial question. Government officials, from your local school board member all the way up to the president, they all operate within very specific, defined roles. But they didn't just invent that authority for themselves. So where'd they get it? Well, it's easy to think power flows from the top down, but the flow of power is actually from the bottom up. It all begins with the people. We hold the original authority. Then we choose to delegate or lend out a very limited amount of that authority to government officials who can only act within the specific roles we've given them. You see, government authority isn't something that just appears out of thin air. It's always delegated. It's loaned from the people. And just like any loan, it comes with some really strict terms and conditions. It's got limits, and it has to be tied to a specific lawful role. This is one of the most foundational principles of our entire system. The government is basically the agent acting on borrowed power. Meanwhile, the people, the source of that power, we retain the original, ultimate authority. Okay, so this brings us to what might be the most important question of all. If all this government authority is just a loan, then who exactly is the lender? Let's just put it out there, plain and simple. Who is the ultimate source of all this government power? Who is doing all the delegating? The answer is, and always has been, the people. All legitimate civic authority starts with the public and flows upward to the government that they create. It is never the other way around. And that leads us to this incredibly powerful truth. Government is a tool. It's an instrument that was created by the people to serve the people. The state exists for us. We don't exist for the state. All right, so now that we've laid out this entire architecture, we've talked about status, delegation, and the source of power, it's time to actually give it a name. It's a term you've probably heard before, but maybe not quite in this way. And the great thing is, you already get it. You already understand the whole concept. We've built the idea from the ground up, so now we're just going to put the proper label on it. The word is sovereignty, and historically, this is what it means: the final, original, ultimate source of authority from which all other power is delegated. And in our system, that's the people. So why does it feel like this word is so often avoided, even when we talk about civics? Well, to be frank, it's because it has become a really loaded word. It's been misused, it's been politicized, and it's been used to stick labels on people. And because of that, a lot of people, even while teaching the core concept, just avoid the word itself. But this is the key takeaway here.
Understanding sovereignty isn't about politics or picking a team. It's simply about civic literacy. It's about having a clear, accurate map of where government power comes from, how it flows, and, this is the important part, where it ends.
So, why does all this matter? I mean, why should this architectural map of power matter in the real world? Because understanding this structure is the absolute first step toward building stronger, healthier, more effective communities. When everyone, and I mean everyone, from citizens to public officials, gets the rules of the game, things just work better. Conflict goes down, governance gets better, and trust actually starts to build. When people understand that an official is acting in a specific, limited role, the conversation shifts from us versus them to how can we work within this structure to solve our problem. It changes the entire dynamic. Civic cooperation gets stronger, and that's good for everybody. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. You now have the blueprint. You understand the architecture of civic power. The real question is, what are you going to build with it? How are you going to use this knowledge to help shape your community for the better?